Hey there. If you are like many of the women that I talk to, you probably sometimes interpret your partner's words pretty negatively. And maybe your partner sometimes feels misunderstood or not appreciated, and it can lead to all sorts of prolonged, painful interactions between the two of you. I've been doing a bunch of free mini sessions lately and talking to many women. And one of the questions that's been coming up a lot is something along the lines of, when my partner shares something that triggers me, how can I not get so upset and act in ways that make it worse? Basically, how can I be more present and understanding when I don't like or agree with things that he's saying? How can I stop losing it when I get triggered? And how can I, show up and be more understanding and patient and calm, right? When I don't agree or like what my partner's saying. And I just think this is such a good question, and there's so much to it. So I'm just going to share a little bit about it, and then give you maybe 7 little tips. And there's a lot more to elaborate on in each one of these tips, and I'll try to get back to doing so over time in various ways so you can learn more about it. So you probably don't need a lot of examples. I'm sure you know yourself what it's like when you get triggered and things go downhill fast. And I'm sure you know that it can be really, 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 really hard to intervene in that cycle, right? We have these natural tendencies. And I personally know, in my first marriage, I would have these strong emotional reactions, and I kind of felt at a whim, at their mercy. I would get upset at something that happened, and these emotions would wash over me and sort of just take me in their grip, and then I would behave certain ways out of them. And some of the common ways that I would behave, and certainly that other women that I talk to do, are by either fighting, right? By like fighting and disagreeing with my words with my first husband, or shutting down emotionally and getting really quiet and silent, or even sometimes just leaving, right? Withdrawing. So those are some of the ways people deal with those hard emotions. And I can tell you from that first marriage, that 14-year-long marriage that I had, these kinds of emotional reactions and behaviors really do hurt the relationship over time if they're not addressed. Because, you don't feel good about it, and that just lingers, and you feel bad about yourself ongoingly. And your partner also doesn't feel appreciated and acknowledged or accepted when he's trying to share with you what matters to him. So his words are being met by these strong reactions, and that hurts him. So we do know that your buttons are going to get pushed. You're only human. He's only human. So how do you handle it more maturely and calmly so that you can have that more loving relationship that you really want, so that these reactions don't get in the way all the time? So here are, I think it's 7, maybe it's 6 tips to help you with that. So the first one is, just to keep these in mind and be prepared for the next time this happens. And you can use all of these if you can remember. You'd be a superwoman if you could. Or you can just use 1 or 2 of them. So I'll list them and you can pick and choose. So the first one is to go mindful. That's just to get conscious of your own internal experience when this is happening. Like, notice what you're feeling, notice what you're thinking. That shifting your attention to your inner landscape like that has a really powerful effect on calming you down a little bit. Number 2, put your hand on your heart area, or it can be your forearm. That's a great place to do it too if you want to be a little bit more subtle about it. And send yourself, just imagine you could send yourself some calm, some soothing care, just the way you would put your hand on a child's head or something, and just send soothing touch to yourself. This helps shift your mind out of that like fear-based negative emotional reaction state into this mammalian caregiver part of yourself. Which is just, it shifts you out of fear and into this much more nurturing, calm, loving state, actually. So that's number 2, giving yourself some care through touch. Number 3 is to shift now into a curiosity mindset. So this is kind of shifting away from yourself a little bit and shifting towards the other, your partner. So get really curious about what he's sharing with you, what he's said, or what he is still sharing with you. Almost like a scientist would, with the project in front of them, like, what's this about? Like, I'm so curious about what's going on. See, it doesn't mean you have to agree, right? Like, you don't have to agree or disagree with what your partner is saying. It's just about like, what's going on with this person? I'm so interested in this. To support that, you can ask clarifying questions, like, can you tell me more about that? Or like, how is that the case? Like, say more about that. I'd like to understand better. Getting yourself, curiosity, that curious state of mind, it shifts your brain into a state of wonder, right? This wonder state, really, which melts fear and negative emotion. You can't really have both of those going on at once, wonder and curiosity and fear and negative emotion. So get curious. Number 4, and this is sort of like taking that last one slightly further. So imagine that you could slip in between your partner's ears. You could kind of inhabit his brain and really understand things from his perspective. See things through his eyes for a while. Now, if you consider yourself a highly sensitive person, or just, a sensitive woman, you are probably decent at this already. But I'm just inviting you to do this actually pretty consciously. It's slipping you into a state of compassion and empathy. Like feeling like what he feels, like getting into his, like becoming him almost for a moment. And that state of compassion ends combat. Number 5, if none of the above are working, just get yourself out of there for a little bit. Take a time out to reconnect to that more rational, wise brain that you have. You can take a 3-minute timeout. You can take a half an hour timeout. You can take a 24-hour timeout. And it's very helpful not to just walk away, but to be like, hey, I'm feeling triggered. I'm sorry. I'm going to just go take some space for a little while till I can calm down. Number 6. This one's fun. We came up with this while on a call with a client. Part of this one. For one, ask him to be helpful. Like he can, your partner can be on your team. He can be your teammate with this. He might understand that you get triggered easily. That's okay. You can ask him to participate and maybe have a code word or a code gesture that he could bring up when he notices you're getting upset about something that maybe in a bigger way than is necessary in the moment. So he can use this code word to intervene in that normal upset. So the part that this client, that was really fun with this client, is she told me that she was going to ask her partner to come up with a funny code word. Because humor, and this was great, because humor interrupts that grip of negative emotion. So that's a great suggestion, is just maybe there's a funny code word your partner could do, or maybe there's a funny dance that your partner could do, something funny that will just interrupt your normal spiral into negative emotion there and reaction. And I do have 7. The 7th tip is shift your brain's orientation from feeling attacked to appreciation, which is kind of the goal of all of these things. But my specific suggestion here is to think of his words that he's sharing with you as gifts. He is sharing, and so that is, on some level, an offering, a gift. He's giving you a taste of his truth, whether you like it or not. At least it's a giving, it's a showing, it's a revealing, right? So if you could just consider his words as some form of a gift, it can help you kind of appreciate what he has to say instead of feeling hurt or attacked or triggered by them. Words are gifts. Communication is a gift. So receiving those words the way you would a gift, with appreciation, with gratitude, is really a game changer. So I hope these 7 tips help. I promise to talk more about this stuff in the future. And I'd love to hear if you have questions or comments, so let me know in the comments. And if you want, some further help with this, if you want to stop being upset and you find that these tips aren't really doing it for you, if you want to stop being bothered by things he does and says and stop feeling so bad about things you do and say, if you want to feel more calm and good about how you interact with your partner, I invite you to check out my Calm Your Triggers program. It's a short little program, and it will help you maintain more authentic, ongoing, lasting sort of peace and calmness between you and your partner, and help you show up like you want to in your relationship. Less triggered, less reactive, more calm, more steady, more stable. And that, of course, always will help the peace and the sense of love and support that you'll feel in your relationship and from your partner. So reach out to me, let me know any questions, or if you'd like some more support. I am here for you, and I look forward to talking to you soon.